let's go for paper 3. In paper 3, we're starting with data analysis. The first question, the task 1, it says create a document in a word processing application. Here, what is different from paper 2, that in paper 3 they ask us to make our own documentation or evidence documentation, while in paper 2 the documentation was already ready and we have to modify the name and the extension for it. So we have to open a Word documentation and make sure the center number candidate will appear on every page by placing this in the header. So create a new blank document. First of all, make sure you saved it in your working area. So those are my working area files, paper 3. And I have to make sure that I am going to save all the related work in this folder. The name, I have to make sure of the name, which is supposed to be evidence underscore following with my candidate number, which will I get it during the exam time or before. So let's think or assume it is 0001, and make sure that the extension you're using is matching with the software you're using with it. For currently I'm using Microsoft Office 2016, so this is the correct extension for it, and save it over here. So first thing we need to add is the header. We go to the header and add the 3 columns. They mentioned that we need to add the name, center number, and candidate number in the top of every page, which is the header, but they didn't mention center or any location. So I am free to add it in any format I need to. And that's my. You will need to evidence document for the screenshots. Okay, right. Let's move to the next point. Data analysis. Open and examine TTS staff CSV file and TTS branches CSV file in a spreadsheet application. I have the first one over here. So let's check. It contains branch code and the branch name. So AM stands for Amsterdam and so on. And the next one, TT staff, it seems it contains the employees information from given name, family name, the branch code, and the sales for each branch. And seems the branch code, the shortcut of these names are taken from this table. So for example, AL, it stands for Almere, and BA stands for Barcelona, and so on. But there is no specific relation, direct relation right now between those two tables, except that the names or the columns are matching, that's all. Save the TTS branches as a spreadsheet with the name TTAnalysis, followed by your center number and candidate number, for example in this format. So let's save the branches file with the new name, and we have to make sure the the center number and the candidate numbers are matching with our numbers. One thing not to forget, that the file we're saving, the extension is supposed to be from the same software. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, TTS staff, as a spreadsheet name supposed to be TTSsales, following by again with the center number and candidate number. So that's for the staff, which will change into this name. And not to forget to change the extension or the file type. Okay, Great. Right now we got the two files and we have the spreadsheet file. Right now let's check the next question. In your TTAnalysis spreadsheet, that means it is the first file that we change it. So what to do? Place your name, center number, and candidate number where exactly in the center aligned of the footer. So let's go. Here adding the header and footer is a little bit different than Microsoft Office, than Microsoft Word. To add it, we have to go to View and we have to select the page layout. You will see that the view would change a little bit. So we have to make sure it is in the footer. So scroll down to the footer and it is in the center supposed to be, and we need to add those three information and the candidate number. Okay, that would be repeated on every page. As I have information on the second page, it will appear on the second and third and so on pages. Is that all? Okay, yeah, that's all in the footer, and I'm not sure if there will be in the header. We will carry on and see. In cell C1, add the text branch sales. So C1 over here, branch sales, we can expand it. Okay, we can do one thing. The view here become a little bit congested, so we can remove it again by going to view. We can make it to back again to the normal view. Actually the footer and header won't disappear, and to make sure it doesn't disappear, we can go to print and we can see that the footer is showing over here. It just the window got changed the way we're looking at the view over here. Insert the new row above row 1. Okay, right click and insert a new row. Merge the cells A to, that's supposed to be A1 till C1. In the merge cells, add this text. Format the merge cell so that the text is center aligned and red color, and it is 24 size serif font. So we have 4 criteria. It is center aligned and it is red color and it is 24 point, and it's supposed to be serif font, means a decorated font, which this is decorated, but the problem is it might not support all the computers. Not all the computers can have those type of fonts. So most of the fonts that can be supported by most of the computers is Times New Roman. Okay, it has a green fill and it has solid black border. Okay, green fill, I can choose any of the green fillings over here. Probably this is fine, or this one is fine. And then solid black border. So let's add the black border, and we can add this from right click, format the cell. We can go to the border and we make sure the border is added to it. We can choose any thickness for the border if you want and apply it back again. I think this is a better one. Okay, it's visible over here. You might not see the top and leftmost borders, but as you're trying to print it out, it will appear by itself. So format cell A2 till C2 as bold and center horizontally and vertically. From A2 till C2, bold, center horizontally and vertically, to make sure that both over here it is aligned vertically and here horizontally. So we just have to make sure both are centerized. Adjust the cell width so all the data are visible or is visible, and save the TTSanalysis spreadsheet. Great, it is saved. Okay, in the next file of TTSales, we have been working on TTAnalysis. Right now let's go to the next file, which has all the information of the employees. Place your name again, center number, candidate number, center aligned, in the header this time. Previously it was in the footer. This time we need to make it in the header. Again, we go to the view, page layout, and over here we can add the informations. Okay, we don't need it, we can close it back, and to make sure it is there, we just go and try to print it out. We will find that it is up there showing. In cell E1, enter the text branch. That's an E1 branch. In cell E2, enter a function to use branch code. Okay, we need a function from a branch code to look up the branch from another file, which is TTAnalysis file, the first file, to look up the branches names from this first file. Okay, so depending on the code over here, we need to bring the names or the branch name to over here. For whatever is written here, I need its name to appear automatically from this file. Okay, to do this, we're going to use VLOOKUP, as all of the titles or labels here are vertically aligned. Mainly over here, they're vertically aligned, especially this branch name. It is a vertical, it's a column, so we're going to use a VLOOKUP. So let's go and start with VLOOKUP. So the first thing we're going to need, let me zoom it. The first thing we're going to need is the first parameter, which is lookup value. The lookup value, currently I'm needing it. It's supposed to be taken from here to be represented as a branch name. So the branch code will be taken and translated into a branch name. Comma. The second parameter I'm going to need it is the table array, which is coming from this second file. So what I can do, I just do the comma and I go over here, I highlight over my table. It's automatically referred here, comma, the column index that I needed over here. So I have two columns. I have the first column, which is the branch code. The second column is the branch itself. So what I needed to disappear, do I need index 1 or do I need to appear index 2? Definitely I need here to appear index 2. So that's going to be comma and index 2. Okay, I think I added this by mistake. So the column index will be 2. And finally, this always supposed to be an exact match. Close it. And here we go. We got the first right branch name, which is Almeri. Okay. So replicate this formula for each of the steps. That easily we can just by double clicking over the green dot and it will be representing it. We can CAM, which stands for Amsterdam, and all of them for BA for Barcelona and so on. All of them are correctly shown here. Save TTSales spreadsheet. Okay, and then print only the data from the Almeri and Amsterdam to be only printed. Branches showing the formula. I have to show the formula and I have only to print it in this specific criteria. Okay, first to filter these two, I have here different branches, but all I needed to be filtered. So we can go to the filter over here and you will find that the filters or those type of column or list, column boxes or combo boxes are added. So I need it according to the branch. I go here and text filter and custom filter to make sure that the the data is matching with Almere and Amsterdam or filtered through only these two branches, we have to make sure through the formula that it is here in all the branches. Only Almere and Amsterdam are selected and click on OK. We will notice that here it reduced 35 out of 145 records, and the colors of the rows here become in blue. The next one, it is a landscape orientation, and the row and columns are displayed and the contents are fully visible in the cells for the printing. So let's go for the print. So we have to make sure that it is a landscape. What we have to do, page setup and go to the page orientation and make sure it is a landscape. That's the first point. Second point, we have to make the row and columns heading to be displayed, which are the rows and numbers, letters and numbers. So row and column headings to make sure they're displayed. And the third thing, the contents are fully visible. So we can make sure of this. So going to over here, okay, everything is visible. There is nothing covered or not showing. One thing, we can just separate cells a little bit away from the branch to make space over here. I think that's not possible. What we can do, make it left aligned. Okay, so let's go back to print. I think this is much clearer. It is not on a single page. I'm not sure, there is nothing mentioned to make it on a single page. So make sure that you have entered your name, number and candidate, the spreadsheet, and showing the formula. Okay, that's the thing that I forgot, that we have to show the formula. So let's get back, go to formula and click over show formula. Okay, let's highlight all of it, and over here we can see that all VLOOKUP formulas are showing. Right now we're ready for the print. One thing also, to make sure that the formula right now becomes separated into another page. So what we can do, we can just go to page setup and we can say to fit only to one page. Okay, so right now everything is fit into one page, and then we can print it out. So that will be our first print out for this paper 3. The next question, keeping the data in ascending order of branch, that's the first thing we have to do. And sort the TTSsales, the same file we've been working on it, so that the cells of member of staff in the branch are in descending order. Okay, so we have to arrange it according to 2 orders, depending on the branch to be ascending, and depending on the sales to be descending. Do this, we can go back again to the same location to custom sort. We can do custom from A to Z, but we can do a custom sorting over here, and we can add 2 levels. The first one, which will be depending on the branch to be in ascending, so that's from A to Z, and the second one on the sales to be in descending orders, so that's from largest to smallest. Okay, so save the TTSsales spreadsheet and then print the data for Naples and Porto branches, showing the values. Make sure it is in portrait orientation. So we have to change the branches right now. Naples and Porto. Row and columns heading are not displayed. Okay, one thing also, to make sure that we're showing the values. That means the formula is supposed to be disappeared and only values to be appeared back again. Here we go. Again, we'll make this a little bit to the left alignment so it will look neat and clean. the only map place and border are showing over here, and then the row and columns heading are not displayed. That's while printing. So let's go to the print, page setup, and we have to remove the row and headings, and it's supposed not to show. Okay, the content of all cells are fully visible. It is indeed all of them are visible. And then make sure that you have entered your name, center number, and spreadsheet and showing the values. All of them are showing here. The name and center number and candidate number are showing over here, and then we can print the paper. That's the second printout. Okay, in the next question, in your TTAnalysis spreadsheet, source the data so that the branches are in ascending order. So branch is supposed to be in ascending order. So let's go. This the branch is supposed to be in ascending order. To add this, to go and add custom sort, and the branch is supposed to be in, just to make sure of it, supposed to be in ascending order. Okay, great. Okay, the next question, in cell C3 to cell C12, from C3 till C12, that means we have to replicate it. We have to enter a function to calculate the total sales of each branch. Means we have to start from C3 and replicate it to all the other functions. But we have to bear in our mind. We have to bear in our minds the branch supposed to be only the total sales for that specific branch. So here we can use two methods or two formulas or functions. The first one, we can just use SUMIF. We can choose the range. Currently our range is in the second file, that we want to take all the branches from here of the first one, which is Almeri, and we want to find out the sales, total sales, and put it over here. So the range is, those are all the ranges, comma, we go to the criteria. Criteria currently is going to be here, A3, which is Almeri AL, and the sum range is going to be taken from here. Okay, we call this the summation range for Almeri. If you try to replicate it, it will automatically detect the branch code and the referencing or referring branch code over here and its total for it. So let's replicate it. That's the first function we can use it. The second function we can use is just sum, and we can equal sum, and we can mention for the first one AL, we can go manually and collect all the sales, highlight all the sales for Almeri. Okay, I got the first one. So second one also is going to be sum, where I believe it is Amsterdam, and take it from over here. Nothing that's matching, so that's the second way we can do it. I'm going to keep this one as it was fast. Finally, we have to save it and then print the spreadsheet showing the formula. Okay, first of all, we have to show the formula. Okay, so formulas and show formula. We have to make sure they're all showing. Go back again to the question. Row and column, it is in the landscape orientation. Row and columns are displayed and contents are fully visible. So go over here, print. You have to make sure that it is in the landscape orientation. Rows and columns are displayed. And the contents are fully visible, everything is visible and showing over here. And then, but the problem here, it is not on a single page. Was it mentioned to make it all on a single page? Make sure that you have entered your name, center name, candidate on the spreadsheet showing the formula. Okay, nothing mentioned to be on one single page, but we can make it into one, fit to one page. Okay, it's looking perfect right now, looking good, and we can print it out right now. This is print 3. Print the spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure it is in portrait orientation. Okay, that's another print out, number 4, that after we finish printing this, we can go and make sure only the values are all showing, not the formulas. So highlight it again, adjust it, and let's go back again to print. Read the questions. So it is in portrait orientation, so we have to first make sure the values are showing, and it is in portrait orientation. Get back again to the page. Portrait. Great. Row and columns are not displayed, so remove row and columns, and the contents are fully visible, fine, and the table is centered horizontally on the page. Okay, fully visible. And let's get back again. It's supposed to be okay. Over here, the page supposed to be, the table is supposed to be horizontally centered on the page. So horizontally centered on the page. Let's have a look. Okay, it is in the center, and that will be print out 4. Next question, extract only branches with sales greater than 4 million. The sales supports to be greater than 4 million. We need to extract it, means filter it. So print the spreadsheet showing the extracted data and make sure it is in the portrait orientation. Let's go and extract the sales. So again, we will need here to add the filters. We're supposed to be greater than 4 million. Number filters and greater than, you have to make sure that it is in the branch sales, and it's supposed to be 4 million. So 4 million have 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 extra. So we got here 5 branches which are above 4 million. The next question says to print the spreadsheet showing the extracted data. Make sure it is in portrait orientation, and columns and headings are not displayed again. It is the extracted data, that means in the same way in the values. So let's go to the print. And we have to make sure portrait orientation, and rows and columns are not showing. The contents are fully visible, and the table is centered horizontally. Let's go back again. Margins. Okay, and center it horizontally already. And we can print it out by making sure all the names, things are already displayed, and that's the 5th printout. The following question, create and fully label a chart to compare the data for all the branches and print that branches and print only the chart. So create and fully label chart to compare those all branches. We have to remove the filter, and we have to make all those branches, sorry, those are the branches, and compare the data of all those branches. So we have to create a fully labeled chart to compare all the data of the branches. Currently we're still working on this. After removing all of the filters, this is the branch and this is the data, so we can go to insert recommended charts, and maybe this probably seems the best solution to use it. Okay, we can see over here all the branches and the sales for each branch. So print only the chart and make sure you have entered the name and candidate number on the chart. Okay. So we added the chart over here. We need to make sure that the chart have all the details, center name, the number, everything else over here. We can see right now even the name is not included, the title name. So we can name it the branch sales 2019. You can add also the access titles. So these are the branches and these are the branch sales. Is everything fine? The last thing we need to check and print it by selecting highlighting over this only and going to print. It will only print the chart, but we have something still missing, which is the name and candidate number, center number. So to do this, we have to select back again on the same chart. Make sure to go to insert, header and footer, and make sure that we add in the footer or header not mentioned, so we can add it anywhere. Let's add it in the center. Okay, again when we try to print it, right now it is mentioned on the paper, so that will be printout 6. The next question, in cell B13 add the text total sales and format the text as bold. So B13, and format it as bold. Okay, done. And then in C13 insert a formula to calculate the total of branches. Total sale, okay, the total of branches sales. In C13 we're going to have the sum just of all of those sales. Format the value as full bold also. Okay, and in D2, we're done with this. In D2 add the text target sales. Wrap and center the text and format it as bold. Okay, and wrap it and centerize it. We're done with this. In cell D13 insert a formula to increase the value. So in D13 increase of formula to increase the value of total sales by a percentage. Use trial and error to work out the smallest percentage increase necessary to reach a target sales value of $50 million. So what we need to get the total of to close to that our target value or target sale. We need it to close to $50 million. So currently our target, our branch is getting only 40 million. So we want here the summation to reach to 50 million. Currently it is 0. We don't have any targeted sales, but we have to try the trial and error workout by trying from the smallest percentage and keep increasing it to reach to the target sale of 50 million. So we already put in D3 our formula. What we need to try is to give it the trial and error system by trying some of the percentage values. So let's say that's the first value. We have to multiply it. First starting, let's multiply it with 10%. 10% will be 1.1, and that will be applied to all of the branches total sales, and it reached with 10%, it can reach to 44 million. If we increase it a little bit by probably 20% or 15%, okay, let's write 20%, and we have to apply to all of them, we can see, okay, it increased to almost 48 million. If we probably made it 30, that will increase really high, but let's try it. That will be really over. Now that's above 50 million. We need it only equal to 50. So what we can do, we can try to 25%. Okay, that's great. That's almost 50 million. So we tried it with 25% of the targeted sales percentage. So replicate this formula to all of the branches. Okay, so print the spreadsheet showing the formula to show the formula. Okay, we have to adjust the label, have to adjust the cells. It's all showing over here. Do we need to make the target sales in D3, do D2 to be bold, but D13 is not mentioned to be bold. So that's D13, it's alright. Oops, shouldn't mess up the formulas. And it is in the landscape orientation. Probably we don't need this to be showing, so we just need only this to be showing. So I have to make sure that it is only for the selected, only the selections. Okay, and landscape orientation. Rows and columns are displayed, contents are fully visible. Make sure you have entered your name and all the data. It's already mentioned. It is all on one page. And okay, this is the printout number 7. The next printout, which is the last printout, I believe, before we move to the web authoring or web pages. So print only the data showing the values. Again, we have to return back in to the values, adjust it once again, and then portrait orientation, do not display, and everything is visible. Okay, print, page setup to be in portrait. Now to show the rows and columns, everything's supposed to be displayed. It is not showing because previously I put the option on print selection and I didn't select anything. If I put it on active sheet, it will show with the, so I have to make again print selection and go and select my cells, and again for the print option, everything is instructed, and print out, make sure you enter your name and all the things are showing and values are showing. So that's all, that's the last printout. So one thing more also left, that it is horizontally centered. That wasn't mentioned to be horizontally centered, so we have to remove that option and just to make it by default as it used to be. So that's the last printout that we have to do it, and